Tension increases in the Gulf as Iraq threatens to shoot down American spy plane. John Hume tells SDLP conference there can be no agreement without unionists. And a night of drama in Brussels, but Ireland fail at the final hurdle. A very good evening. The military build-up in the Gulf is continuing tonight as Iraq and the United States try to secure international support in their dispute over weapons inspections. The US Secretary of State will tomorrow hold discussions on the crisis in Kuwait, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia and Qatar. A spokesman for Secretary of State Madeleine Albright said she'll visit these countries as they face the greatest risk from Saddam Hussein's threat to develop weapons of mass destruction.
Demonstrators in Baghdad today signalling their support of Saddam Hussein and their defiance of the United States. But US firepower in the region is about to be significantly strengthened with the imminent arrival of a second aircraft carrier. The 18-day crisis began when Iraq expelled 6 American members of a UN weapons inspection team. UN sanctions imposed after the Gulf War 6 years ago will not be lifted until Iraqi weapons installations get a clean bill of health. Today, the Iraqis insisted that if any chemical weapons had been produced, they would now be inactive, and claimed that the Americans were using allegations of such weapons as an excuse to maintain sanctions.
If the world and the Security Council wants to verify those accusations, it should not be left to the Americans only, because the Americans are making those accusations in order to prevent lifting the sanctions.
American determination to curb Saddam Hussein was stressed again today.
We cannot, and we must not, and we will not allow Saddam Hussein once again to threaten his neighbors and the world with weapons of mass destruction.
Iraq this evening threatened to shoot down an American U-2 spy plane if it goes ahead with a planned flight over the country. The chances of avoiding a second Gulf War now depend on the diplomatic offensive being undertaken by the two sides.
The Palestinian President Yasser Arafat had 2 hours of talks with the American Secretary of State Madeleine Albright in Switzerland today. The talks were aimed at reviving the stalled Middle East peace process. Ms. Albright said there was no movement on the two main stumbling blocks, Israel's delayed withdrawal from parts of the West Bank and its settlement program. The SDLP leader John Hume has said that the Stormont talks can produce a lasting political solution in the north. He was speaking at his party